So I'm live now. Good evening. I hope you're doing well. I just wanted to share some thoughts. I titled this the Divinity Chat as a nail in a sure place and life update. So I'm going to talk about a nail in a sure place. Most of you know that is my music name. I have played music, solo acoustic music under the name A Nail in a Sure Place for 13 plus years, maybe more. I think in 2008 is when I started A Nail in a Sure Place. And I don't think I've ever, I'm pretty sure I may have posted somewhere on social media the meaning or the importance of the name to me, but I wanted to come on now and just do it again. I'm in a different place in my life now, and I don't remember the last time I did this or I talked about it. So, a nail in a sure place. It comes from a scripture in the Bible, from the book attributed to the prophet Isaiah, I believe is how you pronounce it. At least Ravi Zacharias pronounced it Isaiah. Anyway, the book of Isaiah, chapter 22, verse 23 says, "And I will fasten him as a nail in a sure place, and he shall be for a glorious throne to his father's house." Briefly, this is not a Bible study. I just want to tell you where the name comes from, okay? So, the context behind this is the prophet is telling the people of Israel at the time that there's going to be a person coming, a leader that's going to lead them. And this person is going to be a nail in a sure place. Most scholars attribute it to this gentleman by the name of LaK'ech. I don't think he was that good of a person, though, if I remember correctly. Nonetheless, the whole idea behind a nail in a sure place is that it's about integrity. So, I remember back in 2004, maybe 5, I don't remember, but I just remember watching a VHS tape, yes, a VHS, of a preacher man by the name of Anthony Mangun. He is from the Pentecostals of Alexandria. That's his church. And his preaching was titled A Nail in a Sure Place. And he brought up this board, and he had a nail, and he had a hammer. And he hammered the nail into the wood, right? Just like that. And he explained, he says, "You have this nail in a sure place. Now, if you ever try to hang a portrait or a mirror into a wall, you put the nail, into the drywall, and you hang the heavy mirror onto it, and it falls. Well, that's because the nail was not in a sure place. But if you find that stud and you put that nail in the sure place, well, now you can hang from it and not fall." Now anything, there's a capacity, of course, but the idea is that I want to be a nail in a sure place. That is an affirmation of mine. I am a nail in a sure place. That is my lifelong desire. From that preaching, I remember that I had fallen in love with that idea of that integrity. And I desired so badly to be a nail in a sure place because I want to be that person that people can hang from and rely on and not worry about falling. So I chose that as my music name at the time. And at the time, I can say I was not a nail in a sure place. But that was the name of my music, and I decided to keep that for as long as I wanted. But it was just a name to me, though, at the time. It was just my music name. So originally it just started as a name, a cool name for a musical project. But little did I know what it would evolve to. So throughout the years, I had played music under that name, and I also talked about where it came from. I even got it tattooed on my arm here in the original language from where I got it from. It's in Hebrew. And I actually met an Israeli woman who translated it for me. She read it out, and she actually spoke it, she pronounced it the correct pronunciation, and I recorded it, and it's so majestic. That is such a beautiful language. But throughout the years, I realized what it was. A nail in a sure place was a desire of mine to embody. I wanted to embody that type of integrity. And so, little by little, my heart was working, meaning there was working in my heart to change me into a nail in a sure place. And what's funny to me is I started reflecting about certain spells that I've casted in the past, and the first blood spell I've ever casted, I share a lot. I don't care, but nonetheless, part of the intentions of this blood spell was to manifest my highest soul's purpose through a nail in a sure place, and also that I said I intend to be the best, most highly productive and successful person and living soul in all that I do, while maintaining my integrity by being a nail in a sure place for the benefit of all. And I have this photocopied in my bedroom, so I see it every morning, and seeing those intentions with my blood on it does something to me, and it's a true quantum shifter. It's a way to manifest utilizing your own essence. Anyway, just to get back on the point, it became a lifestyle. It is a lifestyle for me, and it's somewhat of a movement, and I didn't realize it was my brand. It wasn't until I took the last breathwork training course with Audrey Bear that, through conversation and the group chats that we had, there was a beautiful reflection that she was talking about her brand, and it dawned on me, a nail in a sure place is my brand. So, nonetheless, I decided to utilize a nail in a sure place, the brand name, as a means to bring more benefit to others. So I have been calling in certain intentions through affirmations, and for the last year, one of them being I wanted to call in more clarity and more clarity of my vision for my legacy that I want to leave behind. And so, yeah, I'm excited to share this. I've talked about this somewhat, in person, but I wanted to lay this out on camera so I can review it later for myself. So, with the breathwork offerings that I'm going to be, that I have been, sharing and diving into. A nail in a sure place is going to be the brand name for that, and I'm super stoked. Not only that, I have this idea. I don't want to share too much just yet. I want it to be a surprise, but I have this idea that's going to be really beneficial for a lot of people, and I'm excited to use a nail in a sure place. So it's so important to me, and I bring this up now because for the last 3 weeks I've been tested, and I want to say right now that for those of you in the community that I'm a part of, that I'm so favored to be a part of, there's been several of you who have seen me at my worst in the last couple of weeks, and I'm so grateful for you. You've held space for me. You've accepted me as I am. You listened to me. You watched me cry several times. And I'm so grateful. You have no idea. And that kind of support and love that I receive from you all helps me to get to be a nail in a sure place. So, this movement or this brand of mine, this essence that I am intending to embody is all a part of you as well. So thank you very much. So this leads me into my life update. There's a lot of transition going on with me, a lot of changes happening, and I think it's happening for the collective. The more people that I talk to, I've been hearing that they've been going through some similar stuff, and the way they describe their experiences are very much like mine. So it's no coincidence for sure. But yeah, I'm starting a new position in the company I work for, and I'm so excited. I start tomorrow, and I know it's late right now, but I needed to get this off my chest, so to speak. And I'm really excited about it. It's a new shift into my career, and it's a change of my trajectory that I did not know would happen. I wasn't planning on this, but it's a gift, and I recognize that, and I'm so grateful for it. Just today, it was interesting because I had to go take care of some business, and I got on my one wheel after experiencing some several panic attacks. I got on my one wheel and I was feeling it still, and I'm just doing my breath work as I'm riding. I'm floating, I'm just breathing in and breathing out and just trying to regulate my nervous system. And the moment I got on the one wheel and I started to trek towards my destination, I saw synchronistic numbers one after the other. And I'm talking about not just angel numbers, as most people call them, like the 777 and the 444, the triple digits, I saw, I literally, I saw about 10 to 15, somewhere in between there, through my trek. And it was very comforting, us in this community, we talk about the synchronicities and how the divine, or some people call God, speaks to us through these numbers. And I agree. I absolutely agree. And so I saw these numbers, and the one that caught my attention, though, this was not a number. It was, it was, but it was a license plate, and it said, I don't remember the first number, but it is like number, and then it said JOB, and it said 224. And that's what caught my attention, JOB 224. And immediately I thought of the Bible, and I thought of the book of Job, JOB. And then I thought, what about the numbers? Is it chapter 22, verse 4, or what is it? I opened up to chapter 2 and looked at verses 2 to 4. And it was interesting. I'm not going to read it verbatim, or the entire thing. I'm just going to say that I'm going to paraphrase it, but it says that the Lord said unto Satan, "From where do you come from?" And Satan said, "From going to and fro in the earth, and walking up and down it." And the Lord said unto Satan, "Have you considered my servant Job? There is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that fears God and eschews evil, and still he holds fast his integrity." So, I'm nothing like this character Job. Believe me, I'm nothing like him, okay? This guy is, according to this narrative, he is a really upright man. I don't feel that way, but nonetheless, the message was really sweet, though, It was a synchronistic experience for me that made me cry. And it made me feel good. It made me feel like I'm on the right path, There was another moment today that I asked. I said, I want to see a monarch butterfly. Specifically a monarch butterfly. I said, I want to manifest that. Bring it to me. Please, of course. And what's funny was, the moment that I had decided to pray for somebody, because prayer to me is a powerful tool, and I utilize that tool every day. And so I prayed for this person, and the moment that I prayed the prayer, I swear, out of nowhere, a monarch butterfly came. And I was in Eastlake. I was walking. I was walking in, like, just somewhere that I normally don't walk, you know. And that made me cry too. This journey is fun, and it's not always pleasant. It's very painful at times too. I think I cried probably 25 times in the last 20 days, maybe more. I don't know. But I gotta say though, last week when my cousin, if you're watching this too, I love you so much, and I love your children, and I love your family. But they were in town, and that was such a breath of fresh air for me. You know, in the midst of all that was going on, I needed that. I needed that family time, and I needed to feel that love. So thank you for coming down here and spending time. And even today, you know, there was a lot going on that I was allowing to affect me, because I hold this idea, and it is truth to me, that nothing can harm me and nothing can hurt me unless I consent to it. And it may not be an obvious consent, you know, I might not obviously see that I consent to certain things, but that's just my gnosis. And, you know, take what resonates, you know, and leave the rest if respectfully. But that is how I feel. And so I saw somebody from the past today, and this person looked me right in the eyes and didn't recognize me. They hadn't seen me in maybe a decade, I don't know. But nonetheless, it just triggered some ideas. It triggered some ideas that my time's expiring, and I don't mean my life. I don't mean my, you know, my journey, but I mean my time's expiring in certain venues and in certain places and with certain people, you know. And that's okay. That's just part of this journey. Again, I love this quote, and I hold to it. You know, the divine plan is not always pleasant, but it is perfect. It is perfect. So, along with the a nail in a sure place intention in my blood spell, another one was to manifest the golden age of expansion. So, to me, this life is all about expansion. I am all for expansion. I promote expansion. And if it takes some hurt and some pain and a little bit of picking and whatever, so be it. I say bring it on. I really do. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. If these experiences make my soul grow, if it enhances my journey and edifies me, bring it on, please. Please, please, please. But yeah, nonetheless, I'm just so grateful for everybody in the last couple of days that have listened to me and heard me out, and gave me some very insightful wisdom and comforting words. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to the next chapter in my life. But one thing I would like to add, just on record, is that I vocalize. I share everything with everybody. I don't care. Like, I have no shame. I got nothing to hide, nothing to lie about. I am honest all the time. But one thing I held back on saying this, was that I was explaining this is happening and that was happening and I experienced this and this made me cry and this and that. But the one thing that I did not say and I did not mention, and I had to admit to myself this early rising, was that somebody hurt me very badly. Somebody I care for hurt me very badly. And that's the person I prayed for when I saw the monarch butterfly. And that's okay. But that is the truth, and it's okay. I consented to it. I consented to allow this person to affect me, to affect my energy. You know, I didn't say that, but that's how I feel. Is if it affects me, it's because I consent to it. So I've learned my lesson. I'm willing to talk more about this if anyone's interested, or if anyone resonates with this experience and would like to hear more insight. By all means, contact me and I will gladly share more details in it. As long as my experiences bring some type of value or benefit to others, I will gladly share. Always. But anyway, that's what's going on. That's just a little life update, but I want everyone to know, and I want you to know that I'm highly favored and I am eternally grateful for all experiences. So thank you. And by the way, from here on out, these Divinity Chats, I plan to address my future self. This is going to be more like of a soliloquy, if you will. Only because it's been stirred in my heart to share more about my gnosis, my ideologies, and my philosophy that I live by. And it's very unique. It's not, to me it's unique, but at least I don't know too many people in person. I'm meeting them now. I'm meeting a few now, but I don't know too many people in person that are that share this type of gnosis. But I'm gonna start talking about it. I think there's some merit to it. I think there's some value to sharing it. So I've been holding back. I admit, because I get too worried about offending anybody. And lesson learned this week. I'm just going to share it all. So my gnosis that I will be sharing about, it's in regards to non-duality. It's in regards to me not being a Christian. I have not considered myself a Christian since like 2010, and I still do not. But you can consider me a Christ enthusiast or a Bible enthusiast, because it's a beautiful book and there's so much wisdom in there, and there's so much wisdom in the Quran and Hermeticism and the Vedas, the Upanishads. There's just so much wisdom in all these sacred texts, and that's why I dive into them, and that's why I hold them to high esteem. But you gotta discern, like the scripture says, rightly dividing the word of truth. You have to do that. Or, excuse me, Jose, you have to do that. I have to do that. So, anyway, I'll be sharing more about that later. But I gotta go to sleep. I love you all. Thank you for watching. I see that there's one person watching right now, and can't tell who it is, but I see some friends online, and thank you so much. And if you're watching this later, because I'm going to post it up, I don't care. Yeah, just know that I love you, and I'm grateful for you. And I'm grateful for you because I am you. In LaK'ech. Be well, sun gaze, and do all that good stuff. Thank you. Good night. Let me try again. Good night.